welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
All right, we are now, first two segments are phenomenal. We have segment 3 coming up here with Roger Doumanian. He's a business attorney, author, coach, speaker, basically, you name it. If you're starting a company or running a corporation or thinking about one or know somebody who has one, I guarantee you the first couple seconds will scare the hell out of you, because I guarantee you're probably not properly set up. Gino and I know have many LLCs set up, and we're learning
7
stuff. Not going to say we haven't been doing the best we can with our ducks in a row, working through an attorney and having our corporate minutes and all that stuff, but there's other ways to protect you more than you're probably doing now.
Don really likes movie trivia. I can't remember what movie it's from. Maybe it's from Major League, but it's sometimes some of these things, hopefully you're not finding that you're just completely way out of whack. Hopefully you're just finding yourself just a bit outside.
Bob Euchre.
That's it. All right. I knew he's good at this stuff.
Yeah. Just a bit outside. So we brought in Roger Doumanian. He's been on our show before, a business coach, basically, to help you set up your businesses properly. And there's a peace of mind with having somebody help you set it up correctly that is phenomenal. And what I love is a lot of you go, it's too expensive. Well, when you leverage just your let's just say it's your property you own and it's worth, let's just say $500,000.
California, probably more.
Right, $750,000. That's worth a lot of money. That is what you have at risk, believe it or not. So it's worth it to talk to a Roger Doumanian and get some advice of how that should be properly set up. So we just went through basically some of the facts of what Roger does, some fun facts last segment. I love that, where corporations started back in 1790 in the United States anyways. And then we went through the top 5 reasons why your corporation will fail to protect you. And now we're on to the back end 5, right, Roger?
Yes, we are. So without further ado, let's get into it. The next few, they're common sense, but I'm going to take an approach that explains how they can happen by accident. So number 6 is corporation has made misrepresentations. What's an example of this? Let's say you're a contractor, right? You do construction, you do ADUs, remodeling the homes, additional dwelling units, whatever it may be, right? So here you are, you quote a job for $80,000, and you say you're going to finish it in 6 weeks, and you're going to give them everything that they wanted on the list, right? And you're 5 weeks into it, and you realize you're still 5 weeks out from being able to finish the job, and you're about $40,000 short. You didn't intend to misrepresent, but based on what you promised on that contract, you've got a problem, because that could easily be said, especially if you're a seasoned contractor, you shouldn't have made that mistake, right? That's what the court's going to say. How long have you been doing this? 35 years, and you didn't know how to quote an ADU that you're $40,000 short.
That never happens.
Or they're too lazy to fill out a change order form.
Probably.
Because that's what really happened. I was a contractor for 13 years. Yeah. So I can tell you what happens. You go to the job site, you say this, and you're like, okay, well, there's a faucet. And they say, well, I don't want that faucet. I want a nice Hans Grohe. Well, okay, that's not what we budgeted. We budgeted for a price fister.
Right.
You want a Hans Grohe? No problem. Here's a change order. That's going to be an additional $300. Sign here.
That's right.
But that creates a lot of work for a contractor. Usually they're busy, sloppy, and don't care to do that stuff.
Well, that's the cutting corners virus that we all
Is there a shot? Is there a vaccine for that?
Yeah, it's called a really bad lawsuit. We'll never do it again after that, right? So number 7 is corporation has committed fraud. I mean, come on, very simple. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You're going to end up in trouble. You're going to put everything you have on the line. And I want to clarify, when they come after your personal assets, there is no mercy. If you have done something wrong, you defrauded somebody, and they're coming after you, your house, your jewelry, your cars, your kids' college fund, everything that's in your name as an asset, they're going to go after it. So you need to be very careful and ask yourself before you do anything that would be called fraud or misrepresentation, is it really worth losing everything for? The law will eventually catch up with you if you're cutting corners and doing things illegally.
And he said, she said, doesn't work. Like Gino said, that's the same kind of thing. Not filling out a change order. Well, no, that you told me you wanted that. You have no proof. Therefore, it's fraud.
But you got to remember, so this is actually a really good subject for people that are trying to buy properties, because we have to fight people all the time. They're saying, well, I'm going to live there to try to get a better interest rate.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, no, you're not. It doesn't make any sense. You are not going to live in Apple Valley.
You have an $800,000 house in Valencia. You're not living in Apple Valley.
Yeah. Second home. Yeah.
Why? So there's no apples in Apple Valley.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and granted, some people have family in Apple Valley. Nothing wrong with Apple Valley. But at the same time, it's just don't do it. It's not worth it. What are you saving? 0.25%.
Which could have changed yesterday in the interest rates.
That's right. We talk about it all the time. It could just change because of something, in the news.
That's right.
So don't be so hypersensitive to save a few dollars that you end up putting yourself at risk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, it comes back, we'll talk about it in a little bit. It comes back to ethics, integrity, and honesty. If you run your business with those three things, you can avoid a lot of headaches. Let's just put it that way.
There you go.
On that note, let's get to number 8. The corporation has treated a grieved client in an unjust or unfair way. Judges give a lot of weight to that.
I bet they do.
If you're treating your clients in an unjust and unfair way. Look, if you made an honest mistake, common mistake, you may have some leeway with the judge. He may have a little mercy on you. But if you intentionally stepped on your client's toes and you intentionally misled them to get their money and you knew you were not going to be able to deliver what you're promising, I have a saying that says, never promise what you can't deliver and always deliver what you promise. So if you live by that, even if you have clients or customers that are upset at you, you can work it out. But if you don't, you're going to end up running into some problems.
Honest mistakes happen in every business. And,
yes.
We talk about this. It's not if you have problems at work. Everybody has problems at work. Everybody makes mistakes. It's how you handle them that makes companies different.
That's right.
Right? When you have an issue, how do you handle it? How do you correct it? How do you make it up to your clients so that they feel good that, hey, it was an honest mistake. It happened. I apologize. It'll never happen again. We're going to change our systems, and here's what I'm going to do for you to make it up to you.
And it's usually a win-win because in the long term, because you handled it correctly, that will make the customer want to come back to you and send others to you because you handled it correctly.
That's right.
Sometimes it was just misunderstandings and communication. It had nothing to do with anything actually being wrong.
That's right. We briefly talked about this the last time I was on your show. In my book, Chapter 6 is the customer service pillar, right? So this is the 6th pillar. And in there, what I talked about is the before, during, and after part of customer service, right? Most companies out there today, they'll give you great customer service before because they're anxious to get you as a client. They'll give you great customer service during the sale because they're about to grab your money, cash, credit card, check, whatever it may be. But right after that sale, it's all downhill. There is no more customer service. And I hate to attack them, but it's so true. The cellular phone companies are like that, right? Oh. They give you all kinds of perks and packages until you buy that phone, and then when you drop it in the toilet, it's $1,000 to replace, right? So I'm a big advocate of customer service before, during, and after. So if your business is a before, during, and after company, whatever issues you run into with your clients, ultimately you can work them out.
Well, it's interesting when you go transactional to relational.
Right, because we talk about that in our industry. It's very easy. I mean, we do home loans, and you can go online and usually find someone who has a lower rate. The problem is it's not just getting that lower rate. You're talking the biggest investment of your life, probably in most cases, the largest asset you have, and for an 1/8%, you're not going to have any representation or somebody to consult you through during and after. I don't know how many times we get calls after the fact going, oh, what about this and this? Good luck getting back to Bob, on the line to help you with anything after that.
Well, I mean, the other problem is, particularly in our business, is that rate, because that's what people have been trained to look at. It's kind of like, here, look over here because it's what I want you to look at. Don't look over here because it's not what I don't want you to look at.
Yep.
So you've been trained to look at rate, and rate's not always the best thing to look at. It's not really. There's a lot of times you could have a lower rate on the wrong product and end up paying more interest.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's take a look at one of my favorites. Company's doing a little well. You got some extra cash. You want to help your Aunt Sally or your cousin Fred. And next thing you know, your company has family members on payroll that don't actually work for the company. That's another big.
Never heard about that before.
So there are a lot of companies out there, family corporations, and they've got some family members that actually work for the company and a few that don't, and they're passing money through the corporation as payroll, and that will eventually be found out. And if it is, when they find out that you've got your 98-year-old grandmother who's bedridden at home, she's been on your payroll as chief financial officer for the last 5 years, you're going to run into some problems. So unless they're actually working for your family, don't be putting people on payroll just to pass money to them.
And that goes back to, what was it? Honesty, integrity, and ethics.
Integrity. That's right. That's right. And then number 10 is the corporation has only one shareholder or is owned by a husband and wife, which we've talked about. Those single member or husband and wife, what we call the mom and pop corporations, are becoming easier to pierce. So if you're not doing everything else we just talked about and crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's, your chances will increase dramatically. So you want to, you really want to be careful with that if you're running a single person or mom and pop operation.
Nice. So that was the top 10 reasons why your corporation will fail to protect you by Robert Doumanian. So great stuff. Last two segments. First segment, opening things out. Second segment, top 5. Third segment, the second 5. So when we come back, we'll close out the segment talking about what you can do to help protect yourself and your company, properly set yourself up, and go to sleep at night and protect your family.
That's right.
All right, when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, find out more at donandgino.com. If you have any questions for Roger or us, send them to donandgino@gmail.com. We love being part of your life. We'll be right back.
All right.